Welcome everyone to another episode on our channel. We're going down memory lane and I'm trying to show you today what we started out with years ago. So years ago we had dragon bodies. They were very articulated for the time. I mean, you can see the poses that I've got going, especially with the Kato figure here. But they weren't very robust or defined in terms of muscle. So you look at Bruce Lee and you notice he hardly has any shoulders and there's no muscles in his arms. Just like we look at Green Hornet, the shoulders look way too thin. Today, if I really wanted to refine these two figures, I might stuff in a uniform sort of way cotton down underneath the shirt to kind of bring the shoulders up and the arms just to give them a little more muscle. You can't really go wrong with black, but these were actually Captain Action outfits. And again, you can't really go wrong with black, but this Captain Action outfit was horrible to begin with. So we had this color in terms of the mask, and the jacket and the hat matched that awful green color. When I went back and I looked at Williams, when I looked at his photographs with Bruce Lee, I noticed that his jacket and his hat was much more sophisticated than the colors that were used for Captain Action. So I changed the color of the jacket and I changed the color of the hat. I left the mask as I saw it in the photographs. And the stands, look at the stands. They were very basic, so the wire kind of grips them around the waist and you've got this little metal circle to kind of keep them balanced. But they served a purpose. They did hold the figure up very well and you could pose them in different ways. Sometimes though with dragon bodies, actually with other bodies, if you can find the right distribution of weight, they can actually literally stand without a stand. But you really don't want to take a chance with that and ruin a head sculpt if it falls in the wrong way. You could actually chip some paint off the face and you don't want to do that. So I wanted to compare these figures though to what we can do with figures today. We have more sophisticated head sculpts with more defined facial details. We have bodies that are much more robust. And we have clothing that is so much more nicely tailored. I'm going to talk about this figure a lot more in the next episode, so we won't show any close-ups of him today. But we'll pause now to show you a few close-ups of these two figures. There's not much to see in the back again, but at least you can kind of see a little bit about their outfits and their facial features. So we'll pause now for that. I think you can see now with the close-ups that the body definition isn't very good with these dragon bodies and with the clothing that was used. So with the Green Hornet, the shoulders look very thin, not very defined at all. It just doesn't quite look as well or as accurate to the real life Williams. And if we look at Kato, Bruce Lee, he doesn't look like he has any shoulders at all. And his arms are not very well defined. So I would, again, take a little cotton and in uniform sort of ways, try to create more definition in the upper part of the body for both of these figures. So I think that kind of gives you a feel for what we had to deal with way back when. And it kind of also shows you how far we've come with face sculpt definitions, with body definitions, and with how clothing fits on these bodies today. So we'll probably forego a close-up of their faces. I think you can pretty much see that the masks are very shiny. if I were to do these bodies again, I would probably dull the masks that they are wearing. They are way too glossy for my taste. I would also, like I said, I would give them much more shoulder and arm definition, so they're more true to real life. Here's one last look at our figures. I hope you've enjoyed what we talked about today. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.